play on me.
Welcome to LaRue's room. I am your host, co-host, DJ Hope. Let's introduce everybody around the board. We got the boy
Boo.
Staples. Man, be quiet. You're last, okay? Once again, we got our boy Marcus Staples.
Your host, yours truly,
Boo.
aka Daddy Longleg. Go ahead.
We got 10, good old 10. He's coming back off his Achilles injury. We gonna touch on that in a sec.
Yeah.
We got Q, big Q dog, the Pacers fan. We did it, baby. We lost it. We made it there. And we got this last dude, this clown ass. I mean, fuck you, MG.
That was any better?
What an introduction.
What an intro.
Welcome
You can
to
clip
LaRue's
some of
room,
that.
y'all. Welcome to LaRue's room. We ain't clipping none of it. Man, talk about it, bro. Let me hear something, bro. What happened this
Oh,
weekend?
yeah, man. So let me tell y'all about my weekend. I was blessed to get booked up in Put in Bay. It's a little island up in Ohio, near Cleveland and stuff. And yeah, it was an amazing time. I did the pool party. It was an ass shaking contest. I'm gonna post some clips of that. And then I
On
did.
LaRue's room?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see it, fuck
All
it.
right. That sounds good.
And then I did the club. I did the club party too at night, and it was the same energy, man. It was a long day. It was a big money day, but yeah.
Hey,
Congratulations, man.
Out there doing
yeah,
it.
you had a hell of a weekend, bro. Happy
I
for
heard
you.
nobody fucked with anything you played, bro. They are not gonna book you again. That's what I heard.
Yeah, all
That's
right.
his second weekend up there, ain't it?
It's the second weekend, yeah.
They gave him a
Hey.
second shot. They was like, "You still playing that same bullshit, bro? We told you to upgrade the settlers."
Man, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I ain't coming out there no more.
MG.
Oh, damn.
MG.
You just messed it up, man. You was this close to having them there.
Hey,
Yeah,
MG,
no,
can we touch on Q getting beat and horse?
I wasn't there for that. 10 is gonna have to do that. I have no clue what happened.
Tim, what happened, bro?
Listen, man, he was trying to show out, and he got beat by a kid who was probably what?
Ten?
10?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, he's a freshman in high
How
school.
old?
No, he was a freshman. He's going into his sophomore year.
He's going. No. He's going into
No,
his
he's going
freshman
into
year of
his
high school,
sophomore
which
year.
means he
Lord
just finished.
Jesus.
I swear to you,
He's
he
still
just
under the
finished
age
He
of
just
18.
finished the 9th grade, is what you just said. So he's going.
Yeah.
No.
Or sorry, the 8th grade. Sorry, the 8th grade.
Y'all arguing 8th
Just
grade or
finished
9th
the
grade?
eighth
It's still a
grade.
little nigga at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to
but-
know.
And 9 and 10 too.
Right.
Still a
Hey, he had a
YN.
little shot on him. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. He had
You
a
got
shot.
beat by a YN.
He did
Huh?
have a shot on him.
You got beat by a
Yeah.
YN.
Yeah.
Damn, you really unk now.
Yeah.
Congrats, bro.
It was a YWN.
Yeah. I
Yeah. It was wild, man.
Hey, that's funny,
But
hey, he was
that
cool.
what
He
it
was
is,
cool.
man.
So,
Plus, he was trying to do too much,
yeah,
though. He was
Tennessee
trying to do
forgot
way
to
too much.
mention the fact that I was before him and he was the first one out. So
I'm also recovering from an Achilles injury, so I shouldn't be out there hooping. My
You gotta do is
doctor
shoot the
and
ball,
physical therapist would have said, "Don't get off." But you know what? I got on the court because I don't say no. I don't quit.
actually,
How you
I
about to be-
saw the moment
I
you
shot the
hit
ball.
the court,
I shot the
and then
ball.
you pointed
said,
at
"I
it, and
shot
I
that
said,
ball."
"Don't
I shot the
point
ball.
to that at all.
Yeah,
Don't even look at the court."
yeah. We don't show no quit. We
We
get
will
out
see
there.
in a few weeks.
No
Pause.
matter
Yeah.
what. I was shooting
Hey.
off 1 foot,
I love
off
it.
1
I
foot,
love
and
it.
making it.
Hey, lastly, MG, can we touch on your weekend, bro? Did you have a good weekend, bro?
Yeah, man. I was up in Denver in the mountains, man. You know, up there resetting in Rocky Mountain State Park.
What were you doing?
Hey,
Hiking. I was up there hiking.
He funny.
hiking.
Oh, okay.
MG funny as hell,
hiking
bro.
with
I ain't
friends?
gonna lie.
I was hiking. Like, what are you talking?
You like to hike?
Were you visiting or were you,
Visiting Denver? I don't
What
live in
brought you
Denver.
there?
Yes, I was visiting Denver for sure.
Did you smoke on a hike? You
what
grabbed
brought you
some
there?
bud out there?
No, I don't partake
That
in,
nigga don't even
in
take
marijuana.
Advil. He ain't smoking no bud.
You
True.
take these trips often?
Nah, man, I haven't been on a. I've been up there to Denver a lot, but you know I hadn't been to Rocky Mountain State Park to.
Fiction wise, bro, I think Anthony might have been the only one that said it was going 7. Am I right?
I think I said Thunder and 6, and I was a little off.
I said
I
Pacers.
said Thunder and 5.
I said 5 and I was very off. And I'll give the Indiana Pacers all their credit. They came
Thank
out,
you.
they showed
They
out,
did.
Thank you.
shocked me,
Shocked the
Shocked a
world.
lot of people actually. And I don't even know what's going on with the East next year, but that's a whole another
Yeah,
conversation for another time.
we gotta wait for some stuff to really get into next year.
Let me just start off by
We know
saying
who's not gonna be up there though. That's the only thing. We know who's
there's
not
two
gonna
teams
be.
who won't be for sure.
There's three teams if you include the Bucks.
You right. You right. Um,
So
Personally, for me, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I said Thunder in 5, right? I wasn't shocked that it went 7. I was more shocked at the defense that the Pacers played. That's the only thing that shocked me. I knew they can make shots. I knew the games were going to be close. I just thought SGA was going to close out game after game after game. So big ups to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Q, you had a hell of a season. Y'all didn't pull through. Still played well. But
Hell of
hey,
a season, dog, for sure.
hats off,
Nothing
bro.
else to dog.
very
That's all.
unfortunate ending, but hey man,
Yeah.
10 years from now, nobody is gonna remember the Pacers for losing that, and that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll fuck with you. I'll fuck with you.
Yeah,
No,
they
they
will.
won't.
They will, bro.
Yeah, they will.
Ain't nobody going to talk
History
about
don't.
this.
History doesn't
listen,
remember the
That was
losers.
that was a great final.
History don't remember the
Well,
losers.
history remembers the winners, but you have to think about that. This isn't like the Lakers' 12th championship. This is OKC's first
Agreed.
championship. And when you look at, OKC's only got one championship. How'd they do that? Oh, yeah, they did it against the Pacers, who also vied for
10,
their
I
first
only-
No,
championship.
that's not usually
Because
how
I
it goes.
remember.
People don't really talk about it like
If
that.
they're a dynasty,
Really?
then we would
If
talk
they
about
win-
this. Yeah, if they win another one or one in the next couple years,
What if
Which
we
they
still
they
won't
could.
talk. We
They
won't talk
have
about
a
it.
million picks.
Huh?
Can we talk about how much room
Yeah,
to
they
grow
got
they
Thunder?
got?
Well, that's why I mean. Nobody. If they win 2 or 3, nobody's gonna talk about the first one.
they
will.
might because people might argue that they could have
They
lost
will.
last night.
Yeah, and when it all
Oh, yeah, they
started,
definitely could have lost last night.
They're
100%.
gonna remember it. Yeah, they're gonna talk about Tyrese Halliburton's
Like
Achilles.
if he would have never got hurt, they might
We're
have
gonna
won.
talk about this in the next year.
Short term, they're gonna talk about the Achilles, but like nobody when it's very rare when
10
you talk
years from
about
now,
the.
they're gonna be talking about it still, bro. That's cap.
We'll see.
well, yeah, I mean the thing is that's
I
such
doubt
a
it.
crucial point when he tears his Achilles in the final
In the
game.
first quarter.
In the first quarter after hitting
People
3 threes.
10 years ago was 2015, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the Warriors' first title against the Cavs. People rarely talk about Kevin Love going down and Kyrie going down.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
People, Cavs fans, bring
people
that up all the time.
rarely talk about that.
Cavs fans
Cavs
bring
fans
that.
talk about it because they think they
Cavs
could have had
fans
another
bring
one,
that
but
up all
But
the time.
everyone else rarely
100%.
talks about that. They talk about that was the first ring. Steph was that was when he was a unanimous MVP, wasn't
unanimous
it?
MVP.
And won the title. That's how they.
We talk about the Warriors being up 3-1 more than anything. We will always talk about that. And the
Now
Cavs
that
come
one
back
gets talked about. That one does get
That one
talked
gets
about.
talked about
for
That's
good reason.
deserving.
But
Yeah.
let's stay on the Pacers.
Sorry.
No,
That's
you
a
good, you
that's a
good,
moot
you
point.
good.
That's a moot
I
point.
did see an interesting topic though. That OKC team with KD, Russ, and who is it?
James Harden.
Ibaka, James Harden. Yeah, all of them versus this OKC team. Like who would win?
KD
Matchup
and them,
wise.
easy.
Yeah, I think KD and them. They
They might sweep them.
might sweep them.
Cephalosha
I
is
don't know.
gonna lock SGA up.
I think. Well, that all I know is that OKC team is winning for sure.
I don't know about that.
They might get a game, Glass.
I don't know about that. That OKC team, if you look at the defense, they're historically great defensively. Historically great. Like top 5 defenses of all time. So you put that against that team.
Ain't none of them
That's
guard KD. Then
By the way,
ain't none of them
that was
guard
before
KD.
that was
Ain't
before
none of
Russ
them
was in
a prime Russ.
triple double Russ.
They
That
can't-
wasn't
they
prime
not
Russ.
stopping
That
prime
was
Russ.
That was not
prime
any of
Russ.
the prime.
Prime Russ.
That was not
Russ
prime
still
Russ.
getting 20.
That was not prime James Harden. And
They-
that's
young
all
boy.
they had was KD.
Yeah.
KD
They
averaged 30 that series, but that's all they would have. All they would have is KD, essentially.
They would have cooked.
That's
them, bro.
30
I'm not gonna
points.
lie to y'all.
Nah, they had Russ.
They would've cooked
Nah,
them.
Russ was still. Can't none of them stop Russ. He would have taken to the.
Are you kidding me?
time.
When
If they
back
were
then,
able to be,
Back
they
then,
would, I'm telling.
I don't
Russ
think they
wasn't
would've
in his
stopped
prime
him.
yet.
I know he wasn't
Russ
in his
wasn't-
prime, but still, he was still a.
Chet blocking anything that come to the rim.
That is cap. Russ is booming on him.
Let's save this debate.
Nobody boomed on him then.
Save the debate.
It'll be a lot closer than what people think, man. That was not a prime Thunder team. That was a baby
Right.
Thunder team.
Russ
was a
back in
baby
the day
Thunder
not
team.
booming on Chet Holmgren.
I think he is. I mean, a lot of people are booing on Chet, to be honest with you.
A lot of
Nobody's
people
boomed on Chet.
back in that time.
I don't
Chet's
think
getting
Chet's got
boomed on
boomed
every
on.
night.
I think Pascal Siakam boomed on Chet.
No,
Oh,
he
I
boomed
know
on
who did.
Jalen Williams.
Smith
He bummed
did
on
on
Jalen
that
Williams.
putback dunk.
On his back?
Come on, man.
Man,
That's not
He
the
got,
same.
he got a rebound over
anyways.
over
That's
Chet.
not the same.
Anyways, where did it go right and wrong for the Pacers and Thunder this year?
It went right for TJ. The whole once he got going, it went right for him. Like the whole series, I think.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if the Pacers wouldn't have fucked off Game 4, then
Yeah.
they might have been able to win in 6.
Yeah.
But if the Thunder wouldn't have fucked off Game 1,
Game one.
it might not have won 7 either. So
I think if Thunder win that first one, bro, we looking. It's a gentleman's sweep.
yeah, or 6, and you might have Tyrese next season.
Yeah, facts.
To be honest,
And sadly, bro, the way it was looking,
crazy.
they was up what 20 in the first game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
Came
come on,
back.
bro.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Thunder fucked that
Between
one off.
Game 1 and Game 4, they fucked up. That's the problem with the series. Like, yeah, you look at Game 7 and say, yeah, that was for all the marbles he got hurt. But you look at leading up to that, both teams fucked off games to be able to get to
Yeah,
that
they
point.
did.
Injuries are going to happen in a 7-game series.
Oh
no
yeah.
matter what.
That you, especially in finals, you've been
Yes,
playing the whole
they
thing.
are.
So realistically, very, very sad that it had to happen. But I don't want to put an asterisk on the Thunder's championship just because that happened.
Nah,
I don't
No,
either
not
because
at all.
I think the
Deserving.
Pacers bench is strong. I mean, their backup point guard is one of the best backup point guards you can have.
but they need wing
TJ
help, bro.
McConnell.
They need wing help.
He can't play defense though.
Facts.
Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
Yes, he
Game
can.
5, they match up hunted that nigga the whole time they was playing them. Also, I'll talk about niggas ain't talking about where it went wrong. Pascal Siakam was on the bench for the entire third fucking quarter,
Fuck them.
and I don't know why that was.
I didn't
I have no
understand that
fucking
either.
clue why that was.
I talked to Q about that today.
I
Fuck them
I
out,
don't know.
bro.
I don't know why that happened. That
That
didn't
made
make
no
sense.
sense whatsoever. And Obi Toppin did an interview after the game, and he said, "Yeah, not gonna lie, it fucked me up when he went down."
That's
the worst mentality.
It fucked up the
But
whole
that's
team.
the worst mentality. I don't want nobody on my team having that mentality that, oh yeah, my nigga went down, we cooked. We got to go get this.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
we
up at
did
the
it, bro.
half.
And they
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah.
They
was
were
by
up at the
one.
half.
They was up by
They were
one
up
at the
at the
half,
half.
bro.
Yeah, you're right.
So they got out coached. Rick Carlisle did a terrible. He was in a fog, obviously. He got
Yeah.
out coached. Granted, his nigga went down, but you got to be the helm of the ship, especially if your leader go down. And if you ain't,
I
if-
mean, you almost have to expect, maybe a re-aggravation where you're gonna possibly lose it for that game. But
Him and James Johnson. Shit, he should have got thrown out again. Get him riled up or something.
yeah, throw James Johnson in
Locker
game
room
7
speech.
when
they was up
20.
at they was up at the half. So I it's hard for me to look at that and
I agree.
it's hard for me to look at that and say, damn, like it fucked them up because it fucked them up. Yeah, granted, it's very easy to make halftime adjustments if you know they don't have a leader. You just they
That
did
is
what they
true.
did, which is you force everybody else who doesn't have to make a decision usually to make a decision. That's what they did. That's why Obi Toppin was playing bad. That's why Neesmith was out of his brain. That's why TJ McConnell, granted, he played good when he was having to score. But if you have to pass the ball and that's not your, if you ain't he's not a great facilitator, but if you force him to have to make a good decision every time, when he hasn't had to do that all series, nigga, in Game 7 of the fucking finals, he'll score his little 10 points, but he ain't gonna lead the offense.
I feel you.
So
Yeah.
you let him score that little 10 he got or 12.
That's not how the Pacers play anyway. The Pacers play. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody. But everybody is gonna have a night. Is gonna have their night. Who's feeling it tonight? Is it gonna be Pascal? Is it gonna be Neesmith? Is it gonna be?
But more people got to get
Nembhard?
involved though.
I think
That's what I was
Nembhard
telling
really
Quincy on the phone too.
let the team down with his effort.
Who?
Nembhard.
Nah,
He kept
Yeah.
fouling out, man. He fouled out 3
Yeah.
games in that series.
No.
he didn't let nobody
Terrible
down.
fouls.
That was
That's
Neesmith.
effort.
Neesmith fouled out.
Oh, you said Nimhard.
Yeah, you said Nimhard.
Nimhard definitely has stretches where he was in a daze.
Yeah,
I'll say
I mean,
it's
he hit
like
big shots though, bro. I can't.
he hit
no, he
real big
does.
shots in the first half. That second half, it
In
felt
that
like
first
it
half,
sunk in
yes.
that they didn't have Tyrese Halliburton and they were he was in like a daze for
I'm a,
whatever. I mean, I get it though, but yeah.
Like,
I'm,
yeah, I mean, somebody else had to run these plays that they've practiced with
Yeah.
him
you
in
got
mind.
T.J. McConnell for that, bro. I'm not trying to
He
hear
ain't
that.
that though. He's not that though.
He's
Like
not.
Tyrese Halliburton is a special facilitator.
He is a
And
true point guard. T.J. McConnell is a great backup for those cases when he's not
Yeah.
in. He could have
and he
handled
does
it for
he's
him.
not used to playing an entire half. Like his minutes are increased. Now you have to that nigga ain't got the wind to keep up with that the whole time. If he ain't did that the entire season,
He's
Right.
a
he ain't
pro.
gonna be able to do that shit.
He's a pro. The win, I'm not buying.
He
Everything
he
else,
proved
I'll
it.
give you.
He proved it. I mean, like, think about it. Like, you got to make the right decision over and over and over. It's not even
And
just
what he
physical.
does is he drives and then they either crash and he passes out or
That's what he's
he
good
goes
at.
up and takes.
But
the
you
jump
let him
shot.
score. You let him score. And I was with Dylan at the bar. I was like, and people were like cheering at the TJ McConnell. I was like, they're doing exactly what they need him. The Thunder need him to do. Let TJ McConnell get his 12 and get nobody else involved. There was stretches in that TJ McConnell when he ran off that 8 straight. Everybody was looking around. So when it came
Yeah.
for everybody else to hit a shot, when he left, nobody was hot at all. Nobody was in
Nobody
rhythm.
touched it.
So there was no like, yeah, let him get his little 10. Go ahead and run around. Get tired, do your little 10-12.
I got two things. So I told y'all before the series even started, Pascal Siakam had to play big. I think he did. He averaged damn near 20 a game. He averaged 19.3 a game.
He played great.
He
Yeah, he
played
played
great,
well.
but he played 37 minutes last night. But he should have played.
48.
He should have played 48. I mean, you don't have Halliburton.
Yeah, he's
It's the
definitely-
last game of the season, nigga. You don't
ain't
come
got no
out.
You
you
gotta
ain't got no
stay
reason to
in.
rest.
Unless they like,
Yeah.
unless it's
Oh,
like,
oh.
yo, you need a breather.
Yeah.
That's
Obi
it.
really
Like if he can call a
disappointed.
timeout.
Yeah,
They
coach.
did also near the end of the game. OKC let go of the rope, so they were kind of like, as a young team, they don't know how to play with that type of like, because they're in the days too, because they're about to win their first NBA Finals, and they're the
Right.
youngest
Yeah,
team.
and it's coming to realization and like people
Yeah,
are
so they
starting
let
to,
go of the rope a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Like I
Nah,
knew they
pretty
were gonna
smart.
win either way, but like Tim was saying, they're also not at their full potential either.
Not even close. Not even
So
close.
like I get why they make those decisions while they're young niggas.
Yeah.
But okay, like that's when the Pacers, like that's a coach that's been there, Rick Carlisle. He's supposed to manage that game correctly, which he did not do at all. He's been there before. I know you in the days because your man is gone. I get it, but
that third
you
quarter
gotta
was crucial, bro.
that third quarter. He fucked that up
That
completely,
sucked.
bro.
That third quarter sucked.
He fucked that up.
And Nimhard played 37 minutes too, so I'm intrigued to see why these guys sat so much in a crucial game. Nimhard averaged 12 points per game for the finals too, so I thought he had a pretty good finals.
No,
Hit
he
some
had a
great
He was-
shots. Did
His
his thing.
impact is he was definitely a great defender on Shea.
Yes.
For the
Yes.
times he was on him. Shea didn't really have. He had a good finals, but it wasn't an efficiently good finals. He had a Kobe
No.
type finals where he was he
had to
got
work.
30, but it was 8 for 24. Which sometimes you got to do that. And Jalen Williams had a great finals.
Yeah,
For the most part.
man, he put up that 40 piece, and
Game
Yeah.
7, he didn't really do too much, but
But-
yeah,
But and
and he was taking
Correct-
some hard falls.
correct me if I'm wrong. I say the Pacers need wing help because they don't have a true scoring threat. Pascal Siakam is good, but you can't depend on that motherfucker to give you 25 or 30 whenever. You
that's
know what
why
I
they
mean?
got him. That's why they
Yeah.
got that nigga.
It don't work, bro. He's a good third option. What I'm wanting if I'm the Pacers, bro. Go get you a solid number one. Obviously, Halliburton is not a number one. He's a great point guard. You can build your team around him, but
I'm going to tell you the biggest problem in this series with the
What are you
Pacers.
saying?
It ain't
Dude.
wings. It was Miles Turner was the biggest problem for that
Don't
team
do
this
that.
year.
he was in foul
Miles
trouble.
Turner.
If he was in foul trouble, if he wasn't in foul trouble, he would have.
He had a
More of a big
disgusting
game, bro.
series.
Yeah,
He had a
wasn't
disgusting
great.
series.
was not good.
You look at his
He had a
average.
disgusting series, bro.
I don't know about that, but
It wasn't.
Are you
great.
kidding me?
last game was bad for him for sure.
The last 3 or 4 games wasn't good.
They weren't good, Marcus.
Hey, he couldn't get rebounds. Like
He didn't
was
rebound,
missing
and
free
he thought
throws.
He don't ever
he shot
rebound.
too many threes. I know that. That's why you need a real big. That's one of their big problems is they don't have a real big.
Shit. Lakers, if you see this, go pick up Miles Turner and watch
Do
the
He
not
ain't
rest.
pick.
about to rebound for us either. Fuck that nigga. I don't want that nigga.
Yeah, I don't want him either.
He averaged 10.6 for
No,
the series.
that's not enough. That's not enough.
It's not enough.
Come on, man.
What
Yeah.
are you supposed to get
enough.
though?
If you need him, if Tyrese
15?
Halliburton ain't getting 20 a night, you need him at
15,
15 a night.
Yeah, 15, 20.
Or at least at his average. What's his
Yeah.
average for the season?
He had 15 game 1, 16 game 2. He had 9 game 3, 12 game 4, 13 game 5. The game 6 and 7 were the bad games. I give
And
you
that's
that.
the most important
Calling
game.
yourself a
He should be
critical
trying to get a
piece.
20 piece each game. He could easily get
That's
20.
not what they need him
What's
to do.
it?
They
What
don't
is
ask him
his?
to
What
do
is
that.
his season average? What's his season average?
Season average?
What was his rebound average too in the
So we
series?
know his rebound average is gonna be 4.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5.
It's
But
not a rebound.
How many blocks?
Season average was 15.
so you give me 15 then a
At
night.
least.
At least 15 a night.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
a-
gonna cut him some slack.
nah, what?
I ain't cutting him no slack.
Bro, it's the
teams-
finals.
Teams clamp up in the postseason. I'm gonna cut him some slack. I cut him some slack.
Man, he is the biggest man on the floor.
Yeah.
It's contract year. You're supposed to elevate. And he was going against half the time a Chet. What he could have did, he was going against a frail ass Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is a great defender, by the way.
He
He
is.
did not have it going offensively, and he played great defensively. But he could have tried to put that nigga through the rim. But that's not his game. That's not his
Bully
game.
ball.
He
So
could have
if-
easily
if
tried
you
to
were the
bully him.
Pacers, if you were the
That's
Pacers,
not his game, though.
Would you
Could have
shot
at least
big
got
if
him
you were
in
the
foul
Pacers?
trouble. Something. My bad. Say it again,
What'd you
Marcus.
say?
My bad.
If you were the Pacers, would you shot big this summer?
No, this is a lost year. You cut bait. Everybody that's on an expiring deal, you let them go. You bring in some cheap veterans that only need a year to prove
What I
themselves to
was
get another
telling Quincy,
contract.
bro. That's what I was telling
You
Quincy.
cut bait, bro. You let go of the rope. This is a lost year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bro, you done for the next 2 years.
I'm just saying one. I'm just gonna say one, not two.
'Cause
It's
Rick
gonna suck
Carlisle-
because everybody gonna be healthy in 2 years. But
Rick Carlisle won't be there in 2 years.
Yes, he will.
yeah, you will.
I don't know, bro.
If you
Why
go to the
wouldn't he?
fire,
Yes, he would. Why would he
Why
not?
wouldn't he?
well, I
Look
will
at the
say though.
Knicks. Look at what they're having.
Yeah,
to do
I will
to
say
coach.
though. I
Coach.
will
Mike
say
Malone
though.
can leave after winning the
If
chip.
Mike
gonna be
Malone was gone, who else got clipped?
Budenhauser, or no, not Budenhauser.
Coach Bud got clipped.
Toronto. Toronto.
Yep. Nick Nurse got clipped.
He will not be there in 2 years. Mark my words.
Yes, he will.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will.
Think about it. Think
Yes, he
about it,
will.
bro. You got to pay him again. He's
Think
gotta get
about
paid
the
again.
ties.
He's not.
Yeah, but think about the ties he has to Indiana. Like, he coached there. He went to the Mavs. He came back. Like, it's his
It's
place.
his.
He's tight with the ownership. Like, he's gonna be there.
I'll
bro.
tell you this. I'll tell you this.
This shit gone.
They're not going to the playoffs next year if they are to 8 seed. Like they're gonna be a low seed. They're not gonna let me rephrase. They're not gonna be a contender next year.
They
I
won't.
don't think that they'll
Unless
They
someone
could be,
steps up.
actually. They could be a contender.
ain't no
next
fucking
year.
way.
They could
Ain't
be.
no fucking way.
They
You
have-
still got Detroit
Contender.
coming up. You got Detroit.
Contender
the
for a
Knicks.
championship.
No. Okay, not a contender,
Yeah,
but a
that's
playoff
fine.
team. Yes.
They could,
Play-in.
that isn't enough. A playoff team isn't
That's
enough to secure your job. I'm not saying they're looking to fire him, but
He just
I will
won't
say
be
it's
there,
not
bro.
it's not completely assured that he's gonna have his job just because of how coaches have been getting fired.
I think a playoff team is enough to secure your job if that's what your team looks like. Like, no one thinks Indiana is a championship caliber team. They just happen to over exceed.
No.
What they
Whatever.
thought
But
their
then-
capabilities
but-
were.
But then that
pieces
becomes the
mesh,
standard
bro.
though. Then that
Yes.
becomes the standard though.
You gotta
That becomes
maintain
the
that.
standard then.
No, I don't think it becomes a standard. If you have a Cinderella
You have a
run,
young
that's not your
team, bro.
standard.
That becomes
That's
the
it.
standard.
It
That's
wasn't
what.
a Cinderella
Look
run.
at the
It
Heat.
didn't
Look
go
at the
7
Heat.
games in
but
any
you have a
series.
young
They didn't win.
team, and you're losing
Now
your
the
best
Heat
player.
didn't fire Spoelstra after their Cinderella run because Pat Riley doesn't fire anybody. But
No,
they got that whole team.
Exactly.
Other than Bam, they shuffled 100 pieces all the time. They didn't
Moved them.
fire. They didn't fire
they,
Spoelstra.
not by choice. They people wanted Jamie wanted to leave. So
It's
he
gonna
left.
look like that here in a year or two.
The
I'm
Heat.
telling you, yes, it is.
No, it's not.
bro.
It's
You're
not because
not
here's the
gonna pay
thing:
everybody.
those people, those people look for stability, which is what the Heat does. The Heat is all about stability,
Pacers
right?
are too, low
It's
key.
gotten them far. Exactly. So why would they
Let me tell you
shuffle it
what's gonna
up?
happen.
Go ahead.
They're
Go
not
go
the
ahead,
Next
AG.
Knicks.
season, with my man out, there's gonna be everybody's gonna be playing for a contract. And if you overachieve, that means you're gonna be wanting a deal, so you're not gonna want to stay. You're gonna lose half your players at that point that or quote unquote meshing because they're gonna go try to find a bigger deal because somebody that normally wouldn't have 20 points a year, like a Benedict Mathurin, he might average 20 points a year next year. Somebody gonna
He
try to
could
poach a
leave.
Benedict Mathurin. Somebody, a
He
lot of
could
people
leave.
that
I'd
are
be
going to be
fine with
pieces are going to
doing
get
that.
poached. Now your team doesn't look that well. Tyrese Halliburton comes back. Start of the year, nobody watch and see if that team doesn't mesh. Halfway through, they're going to be looking at Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle's going to be frustrated. He might not want to beat it. He's done
I
all he can do
disagree.
at this point.
I
He's
disagree.
Oh,
I don't
older.
know.
He's older too, bro. He don't want to deal with that
He's one of
bullshit.
the oldest coaches in the league.
Hmm
So it's
I'm
no
telling you right
timetable
now.
that he's going to want to stay in that situation if it gets. That's how these situations get fucked. Because that year that your star player is out, somebody's going to produce, somebody's not. Look at Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain with Ja was producing, somebody poached him. That's what's going to happen. Your team going to look a lot different. They fired their coach too. I
But
never thought Taylor
that's
Jenkins
what I
would
was
get
telling
fired.
Marcus earlier. It's like the team chemistry. Like, yeah, some of these players are gonna go, but the core of the team
It's
is
not
going to
about
stay.
that, bro. It's not
That's
about
not how
that no
that
more.
works. That's not. I
But
mean,
why
it's
not?
Because
because
this isn't college, bro.
somebody's gonna overachieve and they're gonna want to get paid, and somebody's gonna be willing to pay them, and it's
It's
gonna
all
be over.
if I can be a great teammate, but if I'm trying to get another contract, bro, I don't give a fuck about what y'all got going over there. I'm
I
about to
think it's
go
gonna
get this
happen to the
20 ball.
Celtics
Okay,
next year. I think
I
Derek White's
think that
gonna
the
get paid and
Pacers.
leave.
I think
I think so too.
the Pacers are trying to get out of being a small market team and become a big.
That's never
You're
gonna
not gonna be
happen.
able to get out of that
It's
shit,
never
bro.
gonna
Why
happen.
can't it?
You
It's
It's
can't
never
not.
gonna
do
happen.
that.
It's
You
just
can't
like
do
the
that.
Bengals. It's never gonna happen.
Well, you're that's by
can
city
do that.
size.
You don't
That's by
dictate
city
that.
No,
size.
you can't,
Yeah,
bro. You can't.
no. You don't dictate
That's
that
by
as a
city
team.
size.
Your geographic
Yeah,
Yeah.
location, your demographic
Yeah.
dictates
Bro,
that.
to be honest with you, off topic, but the Reds somehow were one of the big market teams in the 90s and early 2000s for some reason because they had
They
fucking
were
payroll. Baseball's a little different.
they actually paid. I wouldn't say they were a
They
big
were
market team,
Yankees.
but they were
They were like
attractive.
a
They were
Yankees
an
like.
attractive destination. They were an
Yes,
attractive destination.
they were Yankees like back
I'll
in the
put it like
90s and
this: they were
2000s.
like what the Chiefs are, even though they didn't win. They won what? Reds won 1990. Was that
Yes.
1990?
90.
Yes.
But uh, they were
They had
like the
money to
Chiefs
spend.
essentially, where it's an attractive destination, but that doesn't mean
That's
that
right.
they're a big market team. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, they're an attractive destination.
Correct, because once Patrick Mahomes leaves, the Chiefs will fall back into.
Yeah,
But
but the
the
New York,
Pacers
like
will
the New
never
Yorks
have
of
that
the
shot.
world, no, they're not. I mean, granted, I don't even think they did enough to where people are gonna want to play there in free agency. Other than to go get a big deal, like you're gonna get people that are on stopover. Think about like
Trade.
Quentin Grimes in Philly, like he's balling out. He might get it. He might get to stay. He was scoring like that end of that season where people that are looking for that deal that score 25 a game. Mikal Bridges in Brooklyn. Like think
Yeah.
about like them situations where niggas ball out because there's nobody left,
Yeah.
and then they go get a big deal somewhere else. That's what's about to happen to Indianapolis, which is gonna fuck up the chemistry, in my opinion.
So let's talk about future wise. Tennessee, you go first. What's gonna happen with the Pacers? What are you predicting for the Pacers? What do they need this offseason? What do they look like next year? Vice versa. Same thing with Thunder.
Honestly, I just think they need to continue status quo. It's like, again, I don't necessarily want the Pacers to go out there and fool themselves into thinking that, yes, we're this team, we're championship caliber, we're this, we're that. What they did is they've drafted well over the last few years. They've done good with free agency. They brought in Pascal. Like, they got Mathurin. So just keep doing what you're doing. Like, go out in the draft, get a good quality player that's going to be, coming off your bench and giving you quality points, good defense, quality minutes. That's what they need to focus on, and just hope that they can maybe fill in the gap that's going to be left by Halliburton for another year, and then do what they do best, which is over exceed, right? When no one's expecting them to really do anything. So get that 7 seed and then grind your way through, or even an 8 seed, but don't start changing everything up and thinking, oh, we're now in a window. We think we could do
DJ
it. That's how you mess
Hope,
things up.
do you grab a point guard if you're the Pacers?
No. Well, you got to grab somebody probably while Halliburton's out, but
But so are you going to elevate TJ McConnell to the starting point guard position or leave him as a six man and let him
I
run the
think I'm
six?
gonna
Depending on
leave
who's
him
out.
as a six man still, if not trade him away to try to maybe get like a big or a big and a point guard.
I like
Miles
that.
Turner, he's out too. If I'm the Pacers, I think I'm gonna shop around him. Um, yeah, but I think I agree with 10. I think they're doing really good. They just need to keep on doing what they're doing till Tyrese get back. I don't think they should act like a big market team and just keep grinding it out.
Q, gun to your head. 2020. Let's just go next year. Next season, what does it look like for you as a Pacers fan? You cheering a lot? You happy? Moans and groans? What?
Yeah, I think I'll be. They'll be what I expect them to be,
What do you expect?
which is kind of middle of the pack, smaller or probably just a lower seed in the playoffs. You say play in, I say possibly. It depends on the pieces that we pick up. I mean, we can pick up a point guard, MG said, you just a 1 year deal, prove it deal,
Lonzo.
and then when
Lonzo knows how to
Halliburton's
run that
back,
type of style.
yeah, I mean, you got to go get players that fit your style too,
That'd be a really good
and I
pickup for
think
them
they
if they grab
I mean,
Lonzo.
historically they've done
Lonzo
pretty
fits
well.
that style.
Yeah,
That'd be really.
Don't go get
MG.
Lonzo Ball. Do not do
Why
MG.
that.
not?
If
What? That'd be
MG, if you're a
great.
GM, what
that would
moves
be
are you
good.
making this offseason for the
As
Thunder
for
and
the
for the
for the
Pacers? For both.
for the for the Thunder, I'm gonna go get a shooter. They have stretches where I mean, no, they have a lot of 3 and D guys, but you're gonna have to go get a proven shooter. There were stretches
Do,
where that offense looked kind of crazy.
will you
Yeah.
shop
Um,
Lou Dort?
Hell no, absolutely
Okay.
not. And I wouldn't shop anybody in the they're so deep on the bench. I package 2 or 3 like an Isaiah Joe and maybe I don't know. Maybe Isaiah Joe. And you got 90 picks. They have like fucking 100 picks. You take
Yeah,
some
they
of
got
those
hectic.
picks and take one of those guys, either Isaiah Joe or something. I'm thinking more like Aaron Wiggins or Isaiah Joe. You take all those picks, you go get a better shooter. Malik Beasley's a free agent this year,
Mm.
and I would go get like something like that. Even though I think he's gonna go back to the Pistons, but I'm going to get a proven shooter. I'm hoping Chet develops. That's the only thing I would go. The only thing if I'm them is to go and get a shooter. To be honest,
Pacers.
somebody they can dependably pass to out of those when Shea's getting double teamed or when Jay Will's getting double teamed. Um, and a backup point guard. I will go get like a Tyus Jones, Drew Holiday about to be on the market. Um,
Campaign might be on the market.
I'm not grabbing campaign ever.
Bring him back home.
Uh,
That's where you started.
I'm
I
not,
love you, bro.
but I would if I'm the Pacers, I'd consider going to get Drew Holiday. That nigga's
Yeah,
he
that'd be lit.
I would you go get a veteran presence. He knows how to hold the fort down. It's not going to be the same type of offense. Obviously, he doesn't run the same type of offense, but he does bring defense
For what though? Why bring in a veteran presence?
because
For
he's going to be
what?
on a cheap deal. You can only get him on 1 year. He don't really like. He don't got no allegiance. He already got his rings. He got 2 rings.
Again, for what though? But that's the thing. For what?
You need
What's
a
the
point
purpose?
guard.
For a
They will
gap,
have to get a
for a
point
gap
guard.
filler.
You
I
need a
might
point
fuck
guard.
around and
We
I
just
might
Nimhard
said
can run
he
the
could
point.
Russ.
Nimhard
Bring
can run the
Russ
point.
back home. Let him end his career.
What?
Are you
Russ?
talking about in where at?
Who?
Russ needs to
Uh,
go to the Rockets. Russ needs to go to the Rockets.
Yeah.
That's
KD
where he
already.
needs to go.
We'll talk about that in a second. Um, what's your
That's not
Pacers move?
happening, man.
Pacers move. That's what I was saying. Pacers need to go get a point guard. They need to go get I would
Drew
even
Holiday.
consider Tyus Jones, Drew Holiday. Who else is like I
It's not
said,
a lot
Lonzo.
of
I think
NBA
Lonzo
free agents.
fit like a
Good.
I think Lonzo
Yeah,
fit like a glove in that
he's
situation.
fast
He
paced.
does.
Lonzo fit like a glove in that situation. So I would
Lonzo
go
can
get a
play
Lonzo.
anywhere,
I ain't gonna
bro.
hold you. If I was the Thunder, I consider taking Lonzo off the bench to
Mm-hmm.
keep it a beam.
Mm-hmm.
He know how to keep the offense moving. So uh that's how I feel. I think you go get either a veteran in a like a somebody that can steer the ship like Lonzo, where he's an actual facilitator, or you get somebody that's a defender like Drew Holiday, where he might have those games, but you just kind of need a holdover. You need somebody on a cheap deal that has some on a prove it deal. Fuck it, Markel Fultz, free agent. Go get him on a prove it deal.
Man, he got an ugly shot too.
He can ball
You
though.
feel me?
He can play.
You feel me? So, hey, you know who else is a free agent? It's Ty Jerome. Go get Ty Jerome's scary ass.
I fuck with Ty Jerome. He had a
Go
bad,
get his
he had
little
a bad
scary ass.
postseason, but I fuck with Ty Jerome.
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, he
re-
re-signed. I think he re-signed.
Oh, did he?
Since we on
Yeah.
the topic,
Steven Adams.
KD, bro. KD went to the Rockets. Which y'all
Contender.
thinking?
Instant contender.
Instant contender, but I think the Rockets robbed the bank, bro. Ain't no way. I mean, I get KD's
Yeah.
a little older in his career, but that's still KD, bro.
They were
Rockets
able to
did not
complete
give up
that
a lot.
trade. They were able to complete that trade without giving up Şengün, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, or any Cam Whitmore, Reed Shepherd. None of their young core, all on that team. Dylan
Where's
Brooks,
Where's Jalen Green going?
Jalen Green got to go to the Jazz or some shit. Let him go chuck them shots in Utah.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks, bro.
Give us Walker Kessler.
Hey, you got to clip that one for real.
I got my son's hat on. Give us Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton.
Lakers?
I don't even want Lloyd Marketing. No, I'm talking about where my home is currently.
Y'all are
Season
done, bro.
ticket holder.
Y'all are
Season
done.
ticket holder. If they can spin Jalen Green to a point guard and a big, that's why I said if you could. I know they don't want to get Walker Kessler, but you take that pick, Jalen Green, maybe something else, and give us Walker Kessler and maybe Colin Sexton. Somehow, I don't know.
Y'all gonna be cooked till that Bradley Beal deal is over, bro.
That's
I'm sorry.
facts. That's facts.
He might get a buyout. Apparently.
I wouldn't blame y'all if y'all did, man.
That's an expensive buyout, though, but they might buy him out.
Suns need a point guard.
That's why I said Colin Sexton.
My response to the KD trade is, what team do y'all think KD's going to be on in 3 years? 2, maybe.
Retired.
No,
I
I
do.
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think
In 3 years?
So where's he going to be?
3 years retirement.
Yeah, because Houston's just going to be another failed experiment,
I don't think so, man.
making them worse.
He
Okay.
might be back with the Thunder, bro,
Okay.
just to retire.
The problem is, so let me.
The thing
Okay,
about
go ahead.
this,
I'll ask the question afterwards.
okay, KD. Okay, so KD on OKC, right? He had Russ, he had Harden, but KD, as much as he was the best player on the court, I don't feel, this is my personal opinion, that he was the focal point.
He deferred.
Right? He deferred. You then take that to Golden State, KD. You can make arguments, but I
Two
will
Finals
always
MVP,
say
but keep going.
Steph was
Keep
the best
going.
player. I will always say Steph's the best player on that court, Steph's team, but KD, great shooter, deferred, not the focal
Best
point.
scorer of all
You
time.
go to KD in Brooklyn.
Focal
You go to
point.
KD in Brooklyn. KD in Brooklyn was the focal point, and Brooklyn never made it to a conference final.
They were never fully
Go to
healthy. They were
KD.
never fully healthy. They were never
almost
fully
went
healthy.
to the
His foot
finals.
was on the line.
They
His foot was
they
on
were
the line.
never
Almost
fully
went to
healthy.
the finals.
And on top of them almost going to that
Can I-
final,
can I
Kyrie
finish?
wasn't healthy and James Harden wasn't healthy that game.
So they didn't. Okay, and then go to KD in Phoenix, where you could almost say he was getting to the point where he's kind of the focal point again. They still have Book, but KD's really there, and they just didn't shine. So now you go to a team like Houston, where you'd argue there is no focal point. They play team ball,
Şengün's the
right?
focal point.
Şengün is the focal point. Is
Yeah.
he? Like,
Is
look
he?
at that team. Look at the
They
way
played
they
through him.
play.
They played through Şengün.
Which
same
is
way
fine,
the-
right?
the same
Which is
way the
fine,
Nuggets
but
played through
It's
Joker.
like the Spurs.
It's like the Nuggets.
That's okay. The same way the Spurs played through Duncan, and then KD's gonna get there, and he's gonna have to be the
No,
focal
he
point
doesn't.
because he's by far the
He
best
can
player on the
just catch and
court.
shoot with the
right?
Rockets, bro, to be honest.
He does it. That's
But he's
the
not gonna
benefit
do
of KD.
that. But that's the thing. He's not.
Yes,
gonna
he is.
do
The
that.
benefit of
he's not
KD is that he doesn't want to be the focal point at this point in his career. He just wants to score points. He doesn't have to be the focal point. That's why he wanted to go to the Suns. That was primarily why he wanted to go, because he knew Devin Booker was the focal point. He would get his 28 to 30. They had seasons. Remember, Devin Booker was hurt for a long time. Was that last year? Where he had
KD
to
was
hold the
too.
Fort Dallas averaging 28, and then KD got hurt. But he didn't have to be the focal point when they was healthy. He just wanted to be the bucket getter when it was time to get a bucket. That's all he wanted.
Yo, let's.
Listen, all I'm saying, he's going to go to Houston. He's going to ruin that chemistry, right? And then he's going to want out to another team in a couple years. We'll come back to this, and y'all will see that we made this point before. You don't trade for KD. KD has to come to your team on his own accord. You don't trade for KD. Even though the Rockets didn't give up that much.
Yeah, they didn't give up that much.
They did everything they didn't give up that much, but they still messed with what made that team good. Dylan Brooks brings good defense. Jalen Green can give you a
No, Jalen Green was
He-
on his way out regardless.
He was
the problem. They got rid of the problem and added KD at the
You can't
expense
really-
of losing
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. That's what happened.
But in a sense, Fred Van
At the
Fleet is
expense
taking
of
over
losing
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks'
Brooks.
role as the enforcer and the OG vet.
Fred VanVleet had a hell of a playoffs.
Fred VanVleet would never be an enforcer. But
I mean,
again,
from like a
I step
mental,
back.
like.
I'm just
Go ahead.
Houston will not be a 3 seed next year.
They
Houston
might
will
be a
not
one
be a
seed
2
next
seed.
year.
Tell me what if
Houston will not be a
what is a
1 seed next year.
failure in your eyes with that team?
No championship.
That's a failure?
Yeah.
Not even that. I wouldn't even say that team has to get to a conference finals and be competitive in that to even.
So
prove me
if they
right.
get
And
to a
that's saying
conference
lot.
finals, then it's not a failure, is what you're saying.
10.
Correct.
10.
And
I ain't
correct.
gonna hold you, bro. Conference finals, Thunder versus Rockets. I think the Rockets, they win easily.
With KD?
Yes, you got to win a chip.
Okay.
You got to win a chip with that team, bro.
I don't think the Rockets win easily. I think that they match up. I think
think
the amen on Shea is gonna be this year amen on Shea is gonna be worse than what Nimhart was doing to Shea. To be honest,
And Glass, that's why I say
Also,
you
you-
look
you're-
at the matchup. Look paper versus paper. I promise you, bro. I literally have that series probably 4-1 Rockets.
I don't say that. It's going 6 or 7.
Well,
It'll go 6 or 7.
Here's my kicker. Here's my kicker. I think you're going to enter a Western Conference that has you're going to get a full year of Luka and LeBron.
I gotta see how we fill out that roster.
You're going
I gotta see
to-
how we fill out that roster.
Just get it big. That's all
And
we need.
then you have
We need shooters too.
teams that are playoff
You got Bronny.
experienced, playoff caliber teams. You have the Clippers, right? You have.
I
the
gotta see what the
Warriors.
Clippers do.
You've got the Lakers. Like, so you have not only now you could almost say the Thunder they've gotten over the hump. They know what it takes now. They're going to come back and try to do it again. You have the Nuggets who've been over the hump. knows
Nuggets
what it
is
takes.
done, bro.
You got a lot of experience.
Nuggets. The problem with the
You
Nuggets.
say that.
The
You
problem with
say
the
that.
Nuggets is it's the same problem, and there's not enough players out there for everybody. But the problem with the Nuggets, problem with the Clippers, problem with the Lakers, they all have roster issues. I need to see what they
Yes.
do with their roster before I can say that they're going to be contenders. Because all three of them have legitimate
where
rosters.
is Russ? Where's Russ going? That's what I want to know. Where's Russ
He
going?
need to go to Houston. He need to go to Houston. They need a new enforcer. Now that Dylan Brooks is gone, yeah, he
That's
gonna make
true.
mistakes, but they need a new, like, older, like, nigga that's gonna play hard, and that revitalize him and KD might put him back to wanting to play hard again. He wanted to play hard in Denver because he thought that was his best chance to get a ring. I think you put him in Houston, him and KD a little older, they bury the hatchet. It's gonna be a revitalized fire there in Russ. He ain't gonna
I
be
would
great.
love it. I would love to see that.
I love to see that too. That would sell a lot of tickets as well.
Look at that. Think about this, man. Think about the storyline of the Thunder getting their first ring, and then the team that beat them the next year is the two niggas that was running the Thunder, which is Houston. That'd be a good little storyline.
That
That
would
would
That'd be a good little storyline.
I need, before we get out of here, y'all, I need top 4 destinations for Russell Westbrook outside of Houston. We got
Stay
Houston,
in Denver. Stay in Denver. He had a good role carved out in Denver. That's destination 1 for me. If he doesn't go to Houston, I understand Denver.
too.
I think that Indy could use Russ. To be
I was
honest,
thinking that too. I was
As much
thinking
as I
that too.
hate that, I think I would agree with that.
The Thunder could too. as a backup.
Thunder could use
As a
Russ as a
sixth
backup
man.
point. He makes too many fucking mistakes where I don't want him on the Thunder for that reason,
But
bro.
Yeah,
they
that's
can
too
play
fast
fast though,
paced.
bro. They can play fast.
It's
That's
too
the
fast.
problem. Like he needs it. He needs ISO. Let him make a decision. I mean, Shea does that, so maybe it'd be a supplement for Shea. But another team that's missing a point guard from Achilles, Bucks. They need a holdover point guard as well. So
Shit,
that's all I'm saying.
I forgot about that.
that
Give
would
me
be
the teams with injuries.
Yep.
Give me
We'd love
give
to
me
see
teams
that.
with injuries, bro.
if you give me Russ on the Bucks, I'm not scared of that team at all because they ain't got no shooting. I'm not scared of none of
Hey,
that.
you ain't
shit.
gonna be scared of the Bucks anyway, unless they got roster holes too. Bucks got roster holes. Like I said, in the East, the roster hole teams are the Bucks, the Pacers currently. Uh, honestly, most of the East would be if it has roster issues. Magic does not have roster issues right now.
They are going to be
That's
scary,
that's they
if,
need They need a backup point guard too.
bro. If PB5 can stay healthy, they will be scary. They might be
And
a top 3
Franz,
seed.
they will
They'll
be a top 3 seed.
a
They
top
They
might be
will
a
be a
what?
top 3 seed.
They
They
gonna
will
be what?
be. Yeah.
They will be a top 3 seed.
The East is looking weak. I ain't gonna lie.
Or
PB5.
Orlando Magic will be a top 3 seed.
You heard it here. Hey,
Will be.
I don't think we got nothing else
Okay.
cooking, y'all. We gonna see y'all in the next one, bro. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just okay, hold on. Just one point on that. Do we think the Magic are going to be better than the Pistons,
No.
for
Yes.
example?
No.
Yes.
I
Okay.
need to see what happens at free
Mm.
agency with
Oh,
both
okay,
teams.
okay. Do we think the Magic are going to be better than the Knicks, for
Yes. Nigga,
Probably.
I got faith in the
example? Oh,
Magic.
okay,
Ain't
okay.
no tips no more, bro.
Do
They
we
don't have a coach. Knicks don't have a
do we
coach.
think okay? So, the Cavs, for example.
I'm not
They
worried about
got
the
more
Cavs.
grit. They got more grit than the Cavs. I didn't say they were going to be the number one. Cavs are a regular season team. Cavs will probably be
Yes.
the number one seed again. That second or third, you take the Celtics out of there.
Okay.
Third seed was who's the third seed this year?
So let's say who's third seed was the Knicks.
Okay, I think they're going to be better than the
Cavs,
Knicks.
Celtics,
I think they're going to be better than the Knicks. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, well, I don't. But also, the thing about the teams like the Bucks, let's just say the Bucks don't move Giannis.
They don't have enough.
Giannis is still Giannis.
They don't have enough though.
Giannis will be a 6th seed next year.
Yeah, Giannis by himself is a 6 with that currently constructed Bucks team is a 6 seed, 7 seed.
He need to join the Pacers.
I don't think Giannis by himself is a 6 seed, but that's a whole
Yeah,
nother time.
Giannis
for
He's
another
only
day.
he's
You know
only
what?
30 points. He's only 30 points. That's all. They got to score.
He needs
We
some
love
help.
to see
He
that.
needs some help.
He needs
He needs a lot of
Hey,
help.
I thought we
He
was
needs some
enemies.
He needs a lot of help. He does.
Sorry,
Okay.
bro.
Hey, we're gonna try this one more time. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. LaRue's Room fucks with everybody watching, bro. We'll catch y'all next week.
Magic top 3 seed.